Hello everybody and welcome to ReZero Director's Cut episode 13, season finale, anime review. They finally added a new scene and it was basically what I expected them to add and still hurts a little bit, you know? Obviously I had read this part so I knew it was coming as soon as I saw the wagons, but it was still like, oh, you know, like that. So, but anyway, we'll do that at the very end, so if you're only here for that, skip forward a bit because it'll be at the very end. To start, we'll do what we normally do, go through the episode as everything. Normally for finales I talk about the series as a whole, but since the series came out like ages ago, properly, you know, I probably won't do that. I'll probably just talk about this episode, talk about the ending bit quite a bit, I imagine, and then lament that season 2's been delayed. That's probably how it's gonna go. Anyway, let's jump into the episode and see what went down and everything. Let's do this. So Subaru returns by death to the post-whale meeting, I guess that's what we'll call it. Basically says, hey, here's what Betelgeuse can swap bodies. I might be a person. What are we gonna do about that? Julius is like, wipe out the fingers first, and then Subaru says, that's when he says hey, they can take control of me too. That's not great. We have an Amelia dream, which is kind of weird. It's like a dream flashback of like everything, and it's weird. She talks to Puck for a bit, whatever. Then she goes downstairs. Ram's there with Wilhelm. They sort out the letter mishap, and then Subaru shows up in Amelia's cloak. I get that the cloak can hide people's appearances, right? But that's Amelia's cloak, and Amelia's like, that's my cloak. Like, she can see the cloak, right? She should be able to know, that's my cloak. Where did I leave that? Oh, that's Subaru. And she does sort of figure it out, but, you know, it should have been immediate. Hang on a minute. Also, like, you can see his tracksuit, like, sticking out from under the coat. I know that's very nitpicky, but, like, it's a, come on, Amelia, are you stupid? I get there's more pressing concerns, but it is a little bit of a, what are you doing kind of moment. Basically, let's say, hey, stuff's starting. Biako's staying behind because, what is screen time, I assume? Amelia's like, yeah, we'll evacuate. She's riding with the kids. Subaru is like, kids, do you want to ride with her? And they're like, yeah, of course we do. She's nice. And then it's like, oh, not everybody hates Amelia. That's great. Good stuff. I'm going quite quick through this because I do want to sort of get to the end bit. Subaru leaves to go and deal with the witch's cult before she can thank him, though. And then he and friends consist of Wilhelm, Julius, and Felis, I think. They take out the spy and the few that are around and take their meteor as well. Basically, they tricked the spy. They've given the spy wrong info so that they now have the jump on the witch's cult. And Subaru was like, you're about to feel exactly how scary that is. And I'm like, Subaru, you're a scary guy for a weakling, for a no good, you know, good for nothing. You're a scary dude. Evacuation begins. That is good stuff. Subaru sorted everything before even going after Amelia. He held the thing so Ram could see. He convinced the villagers by bowing and everything. So all that was already sorted. He's productive. A bunch of his friends, they killed a bunch of the fingers. Most of them saved Otto, who was just hanging about. So Otto, best character. He's not really, is he though? Although they say later on he's got like really good, he can like hear animals speak. I'm like, that's a cool ability. You should bring that up more. That sounds very useful, Otto. Like, that could give you main character status right there. Maybe not main character. You get what I'm saying. Subaru goes to see Betelgeuse and they have a pleasant chat, as pleasant as those two could. Basically then he says, Betelgeuse, says they're gonna use Amelia as a vessel for the witch and basically stuff the witch inside Amelia, which I honestly think might happen. Like, not in season 2, I'm talking way down the line, like final arc-ish, whenever that may be. I honestly think that might happen, and Subaru will have to banish her, or maybe he'll have to kill her. That would be distressing. I really don't want that to happen, actually. I know that we're speaking way off in the future, but that is, you know, that would hit me hard. That would hit me maybe too hard. In a good way, of course. Anyway, where am I? I've lost myself in my notes. Subaru uses the meteor, surprise Patrash attack, and everything, good stuff. Subaru then gets chased by flying Betelgeuse, which is a pretty funny sight, honestly. It's pretty entertaining. The cat twins are there. They're not twins, but I called them twins. They're similar enough. And then he calls himself Amelia's knight again, and it feels like he's actually earned it this time. Like, you weigh up the 2 times he says it, it's like a completely different scenario, and Subaru feels like he's earned things now, or I feel like Subaru's earned things. Maybe that's just me. He goes to the spike pit where he killed himself that one time. I forget, that was when Rem died the first time, I think. Yeah, I think I've got my timelines right. Julius jumps down and Subaru and Julius team up, and it's like they feel like equals now. Like before it was like Subaru sucks, Julius is a proper knight. Now it's like they are 2 allies fighting for Betelgeuse. Julius cuts through the hands. Basically, he's using Subaru's sight and senses as his own, and it's that's how he's going to defeat Betelgeuse, because they are the strongest tag team in the world. Also forgot to mention he called him his friend, which, you know, Subaru would refute that claim, but whatever. Wilhelm goes to go deal with a problem while Amelia presses on ahead in her carriage. Good stuff. He says that Amelia and Subaru have the same eyes, and like, yes, I get what he was saying, but are you getting you know, your eyesight going, Wilhelm? Look at Subaru, look at Amelia. Look, they don't look anything. You're crazy. You're crazy. More Julius badass cutting the hands. He does get grabbed occasionally. Subaru feels it as well, obviously. Then he uses an air rainbow strike, is what I've written in my notes. That's not the official name, but it should be. Subaru baseball pitches a fire gem, and it was awesome. And Julius gets the final stab in. I say final stab. Subaru gets taken over briefly, but not completely. So then Subaru's like, "Hey, I can return by death." Witch shows up, inside Subaru. This is now. Sees Betelgeuse and is like, "Get out of here, man! You're not meant to be here." Smacks Betelgeuse out of Subaru, and then final stab by Matey Boy Julius, and Betelgeuse is dead. He causes a landslide in his anger, which then crushes his body. So he's definitely dead. He's definitely dead. Fairless then calls and says, "Hey, basically, we got a problem. You need to get back over here." It turns out there's some fire stones left on Amelia's carriage, and I don't think they're going to be used to create a Flareon. So, basically, we can't make it in time there. We're kind of screwed. Otto's like, "I will break all the traffic laws if you pay me a lot of money," and Subaru's like, "Done." So they set off on their thing. Julius gives him ear also, and then that's when we learn Otto can hear animal voices. They take a shortcut, and by shortcut I mean they just go vertically down a mountain. Fine, it's like a 90-degree thing, but it's fine, whatever. And then it turns out Spider Betelgeuse is chasing them. He's still alive, and it's pretty creepy. They fight. While that's going on, Amelia is retreating. Wilhelm is fighting some dudes as well. It's pretty cool. Whatever. Back to Spider Betelgeuse. Subaru. Oh no, not quite. Subaru told the kids to take care of Amelia and everything, and Amelia's like, "Oh, Subaru, he's cool." Basically, Subaru fights Betelgeuse a bit. He throws some pots. He uses like a fire gun with ear. He basically then what he does is he throws the gospel. I actually kind of like this. I don't think I clocked onto this the first time I watched. He throws the gospel. Betelgeuse grabs it, but the gospel is outside of the wind dragon, wind prevention thing. So then he's getting hit by the wind, which is knocking him off, which is cool. And then Subaru punches him, and Betelgeuse is dead. He gets sucked up in the thing, and then Subaru writes in the gospel himself. There was no subtitles for what he wrote. I assume he wrote something like, "You dead now, Betelgeuse." And Betelgeuse dies now, so rip Betelgeuse, he's dead for sure this time, for proper. They arrive at the battlefield. Subaru heads straight for Amelia. I say just Subaru. Matey Boy's on there as well. Oh, it's Otto's carriage. But they arrive at the carriage like a hero, jumping through the thing. He's silhouetted with the white. It's good. It's a great entrance. Subaru immediately uncovers the stones, grabs them and runs, tells Amelia he loves her, and for a second, you think, "Oh my god, they're going to kill Subaru." And I know when I first watched, I thought that. I was like, he's going to die. They're actually going to do it. Crazy. Takes the stones, as I said, goes to where the white whale's corpse is, throws all the stones inside the corpse, big ol' explosion. Amelia runs to him in the aftermath. Subaru is relatively fine. He's unconscious, obviously, but he's not missing any limbs, and that was a big explosion. He's not even burned or anything. He must have just knocked his head slightly. I'd say I'd call that a win. Later on, he wakes up to a lap pillow, which is, you know, great stuff there. First thing he does, everyone okay. Yes, Subaru, everyone is okay. Okay. And then we get this whole scene with Subaru and Emilia, and it's really good, you know? Subaru admits he was wrong before, says he loves her again, and then he sort of basically rips off everything Rem said to him earlier on. It's like, it's very similar. Obviously deliberately, because it's parallels and that. But yeah, Subaru, come up with your own material is all I'm saying. Anyway, then he's like, you don't have to answer me right now, Emilia, just take your time, and we'll be happy. And the songs are playing, it's good. Smiles all around, credits, and that's the end. And nothing bad would ever happen again. Honestly, the first time I watched it, I was completely fine with them not making any more, you know? Because I was like, this is a good ending. They shouldn't make any more. It is a good way to end the series. But, you know, obviously, director's cut. It's about time they directed some cuts, if you know what I mean. What I mean by that is, they added a thing that leads into Season 2, didn't they? Yes, they did. So, post-credit scene starts. There's carriages. There's CG carriages. That's an important thing to note. One thing I will say, before we get to the meat of what actually the scene was, the art, it looked crisper, you know? I guess 3-4 years were onwards from there. Did look crisper, I thought. Maybe that was just me, but you could tell it was same studio, but it was newer, you know what I mean. More refined, I guess we'll say. I don't know what I'm talking about, really. Anyway, carriages. Petra snuggles up with Subaru because she's jealous of Emilia, and then Emilia acts all jealous too. She's like, no, I'm not going to take that from no kid, basically. And you know what, Emilia? Fair play, you know? You don't know what Subaru's into. I mean, he's a fine, upstanding gentleman, but, you know. And I'm stalling, basically. Subaru goes over everyone he needs to thank. Obviously, the biggest one is Rem. We'll get... We've all seen it, right? Stumbles over telling Emilia, hey, Rem likes me, basically. And then Emilia, it's hurting, and I'm just talking about it, and it hurts. Emilia says, who is Rem? And it's just... Knew it was coming, because I've read whatever volume this is. I think it's still volume 9, which is the last part of this. Basically, if you weren't aware, if you haven't read the light novels, volume 9, basically there's a big old chunk at the end, which isn't in the anime, and this is like the first part of that chunk. So I guess the rest of that chunk will be in the beginning of season 2. Just thought, basically, oh, poor Rem. I can't be doing this again. I can't. Should I just pretend I've forgotten too? Should I do that just so I don't feel as bad? Like, hang on. This is Rem. This is Rem, okay? Don't forget, alright? Don't forget Rem. Anyway, that was the end of the episode. Liked the very, last shot where you have Subaru's face going from, you know, what's the word? Like, embarrassment, sort of, because he's talking about Rem liking him, to, confusion, to shock, to absolute, oh my god, you know? To, oh no. Despair is a good word. And then it just ends, you know? And, that's fine. You can end wherever, but, you know, ordinarily there wouldn't, you know, the delay, obviously, is hitting this, because normally it'd be like, oh man, can't wait to see, say next week, or in 2 weeks, when season 2 starts, but now it's like, no, you wait 3 months. You wait 3 months. You ain't gonna... And I'm a bit gutted, because I've not read, you know, obviously I've read the last part of this book, volume 9. Haven't started volume 10 of that, because they were like, season 2 announced, I was like, well, I'm not going to read ahead then. I'll just watch when it comes out. So yeah, that's hype. Anyway, end of the episode, as I said. Love the finale. I think if you, excluding, well, not including the last season 2 preview bit, it was one of my favourite endings in recent memory, somewhat recent anyway. When I watched it the first time, I was like, as I said, it's not often that I come out of something being like, I am okay if they don't make more of this. Normally it's either a, God, I hope they don't make more of this, or, you know, in a satisfied way. I mean, obviously there's things that just and I'm like, alright, don't really care either way. This was like, I am okay. I'm at peace with there never being any more of this, because this was a great story, and I do not need to see any more. Now I'm like, yeah, I want to see more. Now after the preview, it's just like, yeah, even knowing it was coming, it's just that, yeah, okay, more please. Can I have some more? You know, that old movie, and I've completely forgotten what it's called. I'm rambling now. In other words, I liked it a lot. The preview, oh, it hurts, man. It still hurts. Sort of do wish they would have added more to the director's cut, and I know there is more they could have added. Like, not even like big scenes, just like small scenes that could have took a few minutes. Like, would that have been that hard? Obviously now with the way the world is, with everything going on, now probably would be. But you know, this was a bit before that, so it doesn't really apply. But yeah, ReZero director's cut. If nothing else, glad I got to watch it again. Other than the preview, not much they added though, which is a bit of a shame. But hey, what can you do? And when I say stuff that's added, I mean whole new scenes. I know there's like slight alterations all over the place. But yeah, enjoyed rewatching it. Enjoyed the additional scene. Can't wait for season 2. Is basically where we're at. I'll be here reviewing season 2 when it comes out, so stick around for that. Check out what I'm reviewing for next season. There's a video up about it. I guess we'll just transition nicely into the outro there. Thank you for watching, everybody. If you've stuck with me the whole time, thank you. It's been a good rewatch, if nothing else. I will see you in whatever you decide to watch next, so take care, and bye guys.